Doom Control Series 2 Episode 1 titled Fun Size Control. And this episode, as the first episode of the brand new series of Doom Control, it is a really solid episode. It's really solid. It's a good way to reintroduce to these characters, get us the idea where the character's at. And here's the thing. Is the show wacky? Yes. Last season, wacky as hell. I saw a cockroach making out with a rat. I saw a town orgasming at the same time. Like, it's a show that is weird and wacky, but one thing that they kept being insistent about was the characters and the character reactions and how the characters dealt with certain aspects to that. And by this episode alone, kind of continues on that, with seeing a couple of the characters, mainly Cliff and Jane, how they are dealing with the whole news, what they found out about the chief, and the chief, all the accidents and all the tragic that they experienced were planned. There weren't accidents, and all the planning was done by the chief. And you could see that it's one of those things where you say, at the beginning it was this, but now it's this. You could tell that at the beginning, yeah, the chief is like, Niles is like, you were once meant to just be experiments, and now we are, now I just see you as my children, my family. And of course, in this episode, we are introduced to Dorothy, who's actually is Cliff's, Niles' daughter. And I mean, first, the first impression is, of course, she is very striking looking, knowing that she doesn't have a regular human face. She's kind of like a mix of like a wolf or a rat or something. Like, it's like in the nose area is really like the striking feature of her. But two, her personality, you can feel like this is a character who's been sheltered, and it's very like, hi, how you going? Oh, Jane said a naughty word. And she's that kind of like British child, the stereotype of the a child from the 1930s British person. And I mean, so far you're like, okay, she's this, she's a little bit that. She's kind of like Jane a little bit, because she has like have people in her head, but the difference between Jane and Dorothy is that Jane is just different personalities. Dorothy's case, it's people. It's actual like creatures, like a walking wolf with horns, with antlers. We have a woman who has a mirror for a face, and so on. So a giant spider or cockroach. And each one's meant to click one of her fears, one of her feelings: anger, fright, happiness, joy, sadness, and you can tell, like, when the terrifying one comes along, it's really on that terrifying side of it. We get more stuff with Larry. We have a little bit more stuff with Larry. Like, this episode is really well done. There's not many criticisms. There's not many. Hold on, time out, guys. But we get flashbacks to Larry. And see the family dynamic. What kind of family dynamic did he had with his wife and child? And you could tell it's like he was an empire, and his child, his son was like, hey dad, I made a rocket ship. That's not where that goes. That's not where that goes. That's not where. But he was very like, if I'm going to show you how he's done right. And the wife was like, well, I thought he did. He's just showing interest of what you do. So, yeah, I mean, I'm probably just recapping the episode, but shows that and I like how they're not like with the stuff with Cliff, with Neil. like with the Chief and all the shit he did to these characters. Some are forgiving, some are not, some are moving on. Cyborg story seems to be very interesting to see how that goes. He's suffering from PTSD of the events of Series 1. You know, Electric Girl, Elastic Woman, sorry, she's, you know, trying to be a superhero. She wants to join Justice League and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, so far, good start for the season.